Hi, everyone. This is Jason Holland. I'm the owner and travel butler with Travel Simplicity. People ask us many times, well, what the heck is a travel butler? I've never heard of a travel butler, and with good reason. That's because we've actually created it. So I wanted to just give you a little bit of insight into that question and share some things with you. At Travel Simplicity, our goal is to really create moments that matter. We want to do something in your life, not just to connect point A to point B. That's part of what we do. Um, in many ways, travel is actually secondary to a lot of things, including getting to know you guys, to getting to know you, getting to know your family, getting to know your friends. And the ultimate goal is to help people be healthy, and part of that, I think, is to have some breaks in your life, some time where you can spend dedicated time with your family, with your friends, some time to get that sense of space and quiet and have a retreat. And so we try to create moments that matter. Our desire started with our honeymoon. This is my lovely wife, Sandy, and here we are hanging out with a bunch of gibbons in Thailand. This was 15 years ago. It's hard to believe. But we were actually, we ended up, hadn't traveled before other than going to Canada to see my wife where she's from, going to Mexico for a missions trip with the church one year. And here we are on the other side of the world. And we fell in love with it so much that we continued to travel. And so what we thought was going to be a one-time thing became an every year thing. We realized that we absolutely loved it. And that eventually translated into us creating Travel Simplicity. We were travelers. I was doing all the research, the design, the planning, reading the guidebooks, doing the Google searches. And what happened was, right before we went to Australia, a month before we were supposed to leave, I wasn't that excited to go. And I finally sat down. I figured out I had spent over 100 hours planning a 2-week trip, which is crazy. I had another full-time job. My wife had a full-time job. And then it sunk in that not only is that a lot of time, it's actually more time planning it than I was going to have experiencing it on the trip itself. So I started looking around, researching companies that could help me. And the bottom line is I wasn't happy with what we found. So we developed it. Sandy encouraged me, has been supportive ever since, said, well, why don't you create the company you always wanted as a traveler? So that's where Travel Simplicity came from. And after about 3 years of doing and designing travel experiences, we finally came to decide that, well, the best way to capture what we do in 2 words is to call ourselves travel butlers. So that's who we are. Our goal, again, is to create moments that matter. We want to make those experiences life enriching. We do it all over the world. So location doesn't matter. It could be a day trip to New York City, or it could be multiple months in the UK, or it could be going on a honeymoon to Thailand. And it's specifically designed around your passions and interests. The reason why or how we can do this is because we get to know you really, really well. And the reason why we do that is because we care. And so that's what we mean when we say travel butler.